What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ian's Life. I'm jumping a flight to Atlanta and then off to North Carolina, and with a little luck, I won't be flying commercial on the way back. Stay tuned. We've got our rental car, we're on our way. Time to meet up with the seller, go check this airplane out. I'm not sure how much I'm actually going to be able to film during this process, so things may get a little sporadic at this point. Obviously, buying an airplane is a big investment and it needs to be taken very seriously. I've also got a seller that I don't know what he's going to think of me talking to cameras a whole bunch, so I'll do the best I can to take you along for the process, but at this point, things may start jumping around a little bit. Well, we couldn't film it at the time, but we're back home. It's actually been a couple of months. And now I finally have good weather and a good time to show you what we bought. And here it is. So this is our new plane, Rans S6-S Coyote II. I've always been a big fan of Rans stuff. Fortunately, my partners are also a big fan of Rans stuff, so we had been keeping an eye out for something. This popped up and we grabbed it. So let's check it out. This particular Coyote is a fairly traditional build, Rotax 9-1200 horse-powered, warp drive prop. Otherwise, mostly factory stuff. We've got a set of VGs on the aircraft. It was actually built by Rocky Mountain Kit Planes, which is a Rans dealer, and they did a fantastic job on this thing. The paint is absolutely top-notch. The overall build quality, the attention to detail on everything, how tight the fit and finish is fantastic. If you open the plane up, we can take a look in here and see the instrument panel, which is laid out in a very nice and easy to read manner, which is something a little hard to find on home built sometimes, and fairly well equipped. Dynon D10, Garmin 496. We have done a little bit of work. It has been a little while since the video, and we've removed an original voltage and monitoring system. Oop, contrast is getting me there. Right there, put a blanking plate in. That thing didn't work very well. Put traditional switches in its place. You can see we've done the Garmin 345. That was an upgrade. That was an old Apollo unit. We needed our ADS-B compliance for 2020. Radio still an SL40. That's a nice piece of stuff. It's working fine. The D10, that's all original. In fact, all the rest of this is original. Plane's fantastic. I can't really nitpick much. I probably wouldn't have done white vinyl personally for the seats, but done some little nitpicks like that, and you can see we might get some thicker seat cushions because comfort level is, let's just say, a little lacking until you put a nice soft cushion on top of it. So There's some little upgrades to do in addition to the ones we've done. But the plane is fantastic. We're really enjoying flying it. And right now, let's jump back a couple of months to our trip back now that I've showed you the plane. So it's 7:30 in the morning, we're loading up. We were honestly expecting to get on the wing just as early as we could, but unfortunately, as you can see, the plane is completely covered in frost right now, which is a real problem because we have no de-icing capabilities whatsoever. So we just have to wait for the sun to get over that horizon right there, get us a little light, and get the frost off the wings, and then we are on the wing for Houston. Current weather on the way, looking pretty good almost the entire way. We're gonna have a pretty nice trip until we get into Texas by the look of things. When we get into Texas, things get interesting. There's some weather actually right over Houston, so yay, we get to fight that. Thankfully, it does not look too bad at the moment. What we're really facing is low ceilings and scattered rain, so we'll see. We're just gonna have to play this by ear. If it's scattered and or the visibility's good, we can fly through it, we're good. If not, we'll have to stop and play things by ear, but wait for the sun, then onwards and upwards.
Gastonia Municipal Airport, Gastonia, North Carolina. Automated weather observation 1441 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 04 Celsius. Dew point 00 Celsius. Altimeter 3022. Remarks. Density altitude -600.
Mag check's good, numbers are good. Let's go flying. And our first stop is oh God, I look awful. We're at our first stop, Tom Davis Airport. Fueled up, bathroom break. Back on it. It is cold. I put my hood back up. So we've stopped at Golden Triangle Regional for fuel, which will probably be quite expensive because they do not have self-serve. Unfortunate. It is, however, much warmer, and we're back to probably 100 or 200 AGL instead of the 1,000 that we've been at for a while. So it's kind of nice to be warm again. So anyway, get the airplane fueled up and get back flying again. They've got some pretty cool stuff on the ramp, that's for sure. Check out what's over here. Okay, plane's tied up. We're in East BF nowhere. Headwinds and diversions ate up our gas, so we're here. And it's too late to push on, so now we get to go to town and see if we can find someone to unlock the gas pumps, because if not, we're hauling 5-gallon gas cans that we're gonna have to buy somewhere back to the airport to fill the plane up. Wouldn't be life if it wasn't an adventure, right? So you can't make this stuff up. We got a motel in town because we have to spend the night, and we had to get gas into the airplane, but there's no gas at the airport. So we got a 5-gallon can at the local store, and the person at the motel who runs the place loaned us this old truck here, and we're using this not only to haul our 5-gallon gas can the half a mile down the road to the airport, but also as a step ladder to get it into the airplane. This is too good. What a story. So it's the next day in lovely Jonesville, Louisiana. And you know what, I shouldn't make fun. It's a nice little town. People have been very nice to us, but it is a very little town. I'm wandering off to breakfast. The ceilings are, well, look behind me. They don't look very good. But the forecast says, hopefully you can hear me over the traffic. Hold on. Forecast says the clouds are supposed to go up. We're supposed to have VFR ceilings, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. I'm getting breakfast, and with a little luck, we'll hit the skies. Just in case you were wondering where the trademarked home of the Italian burrito was, yeah, it's here. It's in Louisiana. We found it. Guys, you can't make this stuff up, I swear. Home of the Block Bears. Just to be clear, not the Black Bears, the Block Bears. Okay then. Sweet, sweet breakfast. I have found you. Oh, and they have a place to sit. This day is looking up already. So since I've got a minute, I want to take stock of how the trip's been going so far and how the airplane's doing. Things have been going good. The airplane flies fantastic. We found it has a little rigging issue at the ailerons. We're having to fly either in a slight slip with the rudder or hold just a tiny bit of aileron pressure to keep it coordinated. So that's something that's going to need some attention here at some point. We thought we had a serious radio issue. The radios were getting intermittently worse, really bad on reception. They were transmitting okay, but we just couldn't hear anything. However, finally at the end of the day, I wiggled the radio in the tray and bam, radio reception right back. So I think that was just a issue where that airplane hasn't flown a lot over the past couple of years. And that wiggling it in the tray, maybe there was a little bit of built-up aluminum corrosion that was keeping the unit from grounding particularly well to the tray. Either way, I may go ahead and take the radios out and just take stock of what the wiring situation. I did avionics for years, so might as well go ahead and put that to use and just see how things are. The wiring looks really good, but there may have been some buildup of corrosion or something over time. That's the radio situation. The 496 removable GPS, which has a built-in antenna and a dock, is currently it's taking a really long time to acquire satellites. It's been pretty slow since I test flew the airplane, but this last leg last night, it took probably a solid hour before it finally decided to acquire satellites. There's something going on there. And while the 496 is a little clunky around town compared to ForeFlight, when you're out of town on a long trip, it's really nice because it's actually linked to the Dynon D10, the EFIS in there. And it'll give you horizontal and vertical guidance. On screen, it gives you GPS winds, which is really nice on screen, ground speed, just a whole bunch of nice stuff. So I'd really like to get that working. What else? Other than that, the airplane's doing fantastic. It's a lot of fun to fly. It's comfortable to be in. The heat will blow you out of the freaking airplane. I mean, we're already talking about some little things to make it more ours, but all in all, I could choose to not be weathered in Louisiana somewhere, but the airplane's doing fantastic. Ultimately, the ceilings did lift far enough for us to get out. Unfortunately, that was far from the only issue we'd encounter. Here I am showing you a complete avionics and power failure that we had early in the flight, along with the lovely low ceilings we were still fighting with at the time. Sadly, I didn't have enough time to rig cameras, so everything else you see is going to be from inside. This flight on this day was more about us getting home than anything else, so I did focus my efforts there and a little less on filming. Ultimately, the low ceilings did give way some beautiful blue skies. Smooth sailing for most of the way back to Houston. We ended with a sunset landing with no avionics. A phone call into the tower to get us through made the difference between landing elsewhere and landing back at home. But all's well that ends well. We completed the flight safely and returned with our new airplane. There's lots of adventures left to come in the S6, so stay tuned for those in future episodes. And until next time, like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.